Good day all, and thanks for watching this video. In this section, I will show you that the QR code is not all about computational wizardry. The wizardry involved is not the kind you imagine. In part 1, we decoded the following images: 5G, eagles, stars, triangles, sun, dragons, frogs, swastika, hand, and coat of arms. And also, these images were found in nature. Example in human beings, in microbes and atoms. So we have SEG on humans and everything on this universe, like I showed in part 1. These are some of the images we saw: eagles, stars, triangles, 5G, different types of 5G. We also decoded different types of dragon, and a man walking left, and frogs. Now, in decoding the QR scan code, what you do is you identify any beast number or decoded image that you can see, and you must justify each arm or shape of the beast. And these are the beasts we are going to use to decode the QR scan code. This is the simplest QR scan code out there, right? Now, immediately I look at it, I see that it's an S. You can see that, yeah, it's an S. All right, and that's representing these two beasts when they are bound and form an S image. When I rotate it, I can see immediately a G in there. You can see it, all right? The leg, the bump there, and the head curving down. And so I color the G. All right. Then the next thing I see is an eagle, a big bird anyway, and all the arms are justified. It's all big, and I draw it in. Already you know how to interpret SEG. I showed it in part 1. The other images I see a frog, okay? You can see it from that part, and I color the next one there, which is GG. All right. Now, in this QR scan code, see the two faces again, like we saw in the last part, in part 1. These two faces, you see this one looks like a square, a male, and this one here, oval shape, is the female. You have this in all the throughout SEG formations, all right? It is formed by these two beasts. One is a male and one is a female. These two faces represent female and male god camouflage images of Satan, worshipped since ancient times when man obeyed Satan in the Garden of Eden. Satan then became the god of this world. But you are not of the world and should be a light to the world. The Bible. How do I know that these two faces are evil? Because God told me so. All right, according to my understanding, when I asked him, because one time I started thinking the two faces represented Adam and Eve, and God said no, they represent Satan. Now, this QR code is the most complex out there. What you see is like a man walking. Okay, you see like a man with two arms and legs walking. I can't just go drawing a man, although we decoded a man in our part 1, but you just can't go drawing what you see. You must justify the arms with beast images. Okay, now see this where the red arrow is pointing at. That's our dragon that we found in the human nucleus in part 1. All right, that's it there that I've shown you. Where was I? I can see an E there. All right, so now let's go to decoding. In this slide, you see the man. I've drawn the man, but I've justified drawing the man by I can see it is my Y form, this big one. Okay, his head and his hands are the Y, and the legs are the G. And so I've drawn my Y and my G, and thereby drawing the man. Now check here as well. This is a G carrying an E. It's an SEG. All right. In fact, everything you see on this QR scan code are beast images, no matter how small. All right. Now let's go to the next image that I saw and that I colored. Now I saw an X, and the S is made up of this my beast and then a G. Okay, the same G we colored in the last slide. So I color it in. I've justified the beast images and the beast numbers. And then I see an E. SEG contains an E. So I've drawn in the E, justified. All right. And here, as you can see, just from here, as you continue to color, more images appear. It's more easier, it becomes easier to see other images when you eliminate some by coloring them. So now you can see a G there already. So I color it in this section. Okay, now let's go to the next stage. In this stage now, I saw a big Y here. And so I'm going to use an ordinary pen because this is giving me a lot of problems. All right. So in this one, I've seen a Y and I color it there. And it's still the same like from the other slide. My Y and G is still there. And now I've put in the G there. Okay, this is a medium G. The other one I drew was a small G. That means there were 3 G's here: small, medium, and large. I pick the medium one and it becomes a 5 because this place is open. If I went and did a big G, then it will be a big G. It won't be a 5 anymore because this place will be closed. All right. So in the next slide, now I see 2 big Y's, and this big one is carrying the other type of Y beast. You can see this lady. All the colorings I was doing, they avoided making you color her. Her face appeared in all of them because there is no image that you will draw that will cover her face, and they did it purposely. This is the goddess they worship. All right, now let's continue. So in the next, I continue building up on that image, okay, on the picture we are getting. And now I color in a small G and the big G like in the other slides. And then I see, you see what's remaining, a big Y, and the hand goes in there. All right. This is how these images are. They are linked to each other. All right. So what do you have in the end? Female slash male gods wearing big G that is carrying 3 big Y's that has small YG or SEG, 5G, and the arrow. Yeah, see it here. So it means this is a goddess and she is a G. They represent this G also represents God and goddess for them. When you see them draw G and such things, they are talking about not just the beast number, but they also use it to represent the God and the goddess. And you can see there are 2 faces are merged in there, but there's also another male face in there. So whichever way you want to interpret it, there's a male face and there's a female face. Okay? And it's telling you they are the G, the God, and they are carrying this other beast. All right? SEG. In the next slide, I've drawn the 5, the G, and the smaller G inside there. All right? And then in this one, as you can see, comparing with the one former, you can see there's a Y in there. So I've drawn it. And each arm, I've justified each arm. Okay? Each beast has a different arm. Okay? And you must justify both the arms and the head, their shapes. All right? Otherwise, you haven't got it right. And you may go accusing someone of using a beast image. But everything is justified. I took my time to do that. Right. In the next one, I see a big G. All right. And in this one, this is an E. It's formed an E with 2 Y. The 2 Y beasts are meshed together to form this E. All right. And then there's this SEG there. Okay. 3 arms of the G binding to one of the arms. All right. So what you have, the S coming from this beast, then you have SEG. All right, that's how they do it. Here is a bigger one, and then here you see there's a wide beast, and it's carrying a G inside. And if you continue, there's a little bit in here. If you draw that pattern, it becomes a 5. Then it will be 5 and the Y are joined together. All right. In the next one, this is a frog. All right. We decoded it here. This is Y all the way down. Okay. Big Y. And this frog is hugging it, carrying yeah, and this G is inside the Y, and the G in itself is holding an E. You see an E, and everything is linked, and everything creates an SEG. All right, you know how to interpret SEG by now. You can go from here to there, and from there to there. That will be your S. That's your E already there, and that's your G, and that's SEG. All right. Every beast image in the QR scan code is an SEG or a beast number, nothing else. Now in this place, I see two types of G, and they are linked in that position. And look at, is the SS. It gives the SS. It looks like SS symbol. Okay, this is the second time we are coming across a Nazi symbol in our decoding. And these are two Y's joined together. And in here you have two frogs. All right. And then you have, I drew in the beast that is in there, SEG. Everything is SEG anyway. Right. In the next one, drawing what I can see, justifying each arm, and this is what I got. All right. Query a big bird with big claws formed from Y's. Okay, from my beast Y's. And then the number 2, see 2 G's here, and in between is the Y beast. Okay. The next slide, I colored in here using my Y beast, justifying each arm as I went along. These are the squiggles that's already there. I just highlighted them with black. These are all SEG superimposed on one another. After I finish coloring this, okay, this is the mouse. I saw, no, why do I call it mouse? It's a frog. The frog. And I drew it in. None of these images, apart from maybe a G or Y that I see, I don't know what is going to turn out to be. I'm just drawing the beast images and justifying the arms as I go along. Then after I drew this in, everything looked like the all-seeing eye. I did not plan to do that. Okay, so that's it. Now this is my best, I think. All right. This is the main picture. You see this big bird. It's a big ego. Yeah, I'm sure everything we've decoded so far is an ego, and it's an ego they mean to. That's what they drew. It's an ego, big ego, monster ego. Yeah. And look at the two faces of the male, female goddess and the male goddess. There's something you do that you can paint them in. They have made these drawings, superimposed images upon one another, but always, especially her face, is always left unpainted. And now, what does it mean? They are inside the big bed. They are the big bed. They are riding the big bed. And the big bed is carrying a G. And what does a G tell you? God. They are gods. All right? This reminds me of the woman in scarlet or something like that riding the beast. Okay? And then you can see it's 5G. They are 5G. Especially the woman is a 5, the man is a G. You can see it here. You see 5 and then your G. Okay, it's 5G. I've drawn it out for you there. Okay, so that's what you have in your QR code. Beast images, nothing else. The end of part 2. Conclusion. QR scan code bears the number and images of the beast. Join me in part 3, where I review those that use the number and image of the beast. That is the Antichrist and his mark. Thank you.